Well, hello the internet, it's Ghost here, and if you celebrate Christmas, Happy Christmas, or Merry Christmas, depending on which one you prefer to hear. And if not, then Happy Holidays to whatever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate anything at all, welcome to episode 80 of Minecraft Creative, in which admittedly I'm doing a festive build. We're redoing parts of the market because I had the realisation that it looked horrendous and I didn't know what to build, so it made more sense for me to actually go in and try and make some improvements because this was built like 3 years ago, I think it was. 3 years ago when I could actually take my laptop places. But yeah, this was built about 3 years ago now, and I have improved a lot, and it's definitely nice to come back to the builds over here and go, oh wow, I have significantly improved. Even looking at things from what I built last year or the year before that and going, yeah, you can see that there's been a change. And I mean, I sometimes have like the thumbnails pop up as like, see what was happening a year ago on my OneDrive, and I look at it and I'm like, that was me a year ago? I mean, sure, I'm still not like 100% the best builder, but there's improvement. So the first things that I kind of did was things like adding just clutter, pots and various little things that will make a bit more of excitement to it. Got rid of some of my item framed things because yes, this was peak building for me back then. Added in brewing stands that had drinks on, and with the cakes, making some of them so that they weren't full cakes. Added a chimney and decided to change up what this store sold so that it was like, oh, we live cook your food here. Yeah, it was mostly trying to make the small changes that would significantly improve the look. Because that's something that needed working on. I did, however, have the problem of it kept trying to snow, which was unhelpful. I mean, I should have let it snow a bit. Oh yeah, and then I tried building this lamppost. Didn't like the lamppost, so tore it down and did something else. Because it, quite frankly, looked weird. So I don't know if I'm ever going to replace them with something else. I'd quite like to, but it's not something I'm particularly good at building. I then decided to connect up a path to the main town square because that was something that was lacking in here. Paths going between everything that were not covered in snow. Because at one point in time, I didn't care about paths. I just built things that I wanted to build. I'm probably not going to touch most of the other builds in terms of quote-unquote improving them, because I quite like that it's kind of a monument to the start of my Minecraft building, because originally what had happened was I went from doing it on touchscreen on a tablet to all of a sudden I had a laptop that would allow me to build bigger things and also use TNT, because my tablet did not like when I used TNT, especially in large quantities, but now I can, which makes landscaping so much easier at times. But yeah, I went in and built this weird arch thing because it felt like there was just too much space. And then added in some smaller lamps dotted around just to try and liven things up, I guess. I then also decided that it looked a bit silly to just have a completely flat and squared off section. I also then noticed that I had left a TARDIS here from that time we did the TARDIS tour of the world, and had to get rid of that because that was an inconvenience to me. It also doesn't fit here anymore. I'm still finding them every so often when I go to places I haven't visited in a while. Like, I'm pretty sure I've probably still got one over at the museum that we did one year. That's another build that I'd like to revisit and make some changes to. In fact, I would probably just try and find a new archaeological site and go and work on a new museum. In part because I've spent a lot of times in museums this year, so I think I could definitely do better in Minecraft with one. And just because in general I quite enjoyed putting that together. There's more block options now. There's more things that could be used in a museum. But yeah, that's for future Ghost to deal with. It's like I want to build another aquarium at some point. It's all things that's like, yeah, I want to do that, but I don't have time or space for it now in my Minecraft world. And then I built some tables over in one of the corners just because I figured it was too open and wide here. It needed something else, because otherwise you just have a very large flat bit of ground that has nothing going on. And yes, in the fantastical world of this Minecraft build, there's lots of people bustling around, but I don't have that, obviously. So I had to find a solution to that, and that is, of course, adding things like tables, adding things that make the area look lived in. Now, something I perhaps could have done was put in some trees that weren't evergreen trees, and then I could have had some leaf litter go in to just try and make it look like, there is stuff going on here. However, I didn't think about that, and just went with it. I added a little stool over here that is maybe a visiting stool that comes and does like repairs and things, because out of all of my stuff on this Minecraft world, this is arguably one of the most remote locations that I have. Yeah, the distance between the first kind of stuff that I did and what I was working on in my previous big build and then what I'm currently working on are kind of two separate segments. That's mostly just because that's how it went. I guess equally you have what's it called? My brain is deceiving me right now and I can't remember what I'm trying to talk about. Oh, actually the museum, that's what I'm thinking of. The museum's really far away from everything else. The Starlight Express build has been kind of abandoned. Let's be honest, the Aerostore build has been abandoned. There was so much I could have done to improve that. But I'm probably not going to go back and deal with it, to be honest, because I'm not necessarily that interested in it. It will, of course, stay because I spent hours on that. And quite frankly, I don't want to get rid of it. Okay, added some plant life going around because apparently I decided that's going to grow here. This is the magical Christmas land, it's allowed. This is also my Minecraft world, my rules. I like having plants, and I specifically picked things that were red and white because that's kind of festive because candy canes. And then I discovered that I'd left the gingerbread house empty. I don't know why I ever did this, considering I am like 95% sure that every single other building in here has an interior. Probably because I decided, well, I don't really have anything that can make it look like gingerbread. So I went in and built it. I added a giant fireplace where they can cook their food, and then added like paneling to it because we have shelves now and I'm going to take advantage of that fact. Added in counters and various little bits that would make it homely. Really trying to put to use my ability to build interiors in small spaces now. Because I have vastly improved on that. I then realised that to have the smoke plume going up, I was going to need to, mangle the roof. It looks a bit weird if you look at it from certain angles, but from the main angle that matters, it doesn't. And then put in another campfire to make sure that you get all of that smoke particle coming out. Yes, I probably could have done it with cobwebs to make it look fake and like it's being blown by the wind, but personally, I didn't care about that idea. I just wanted it to be there. I then used two of the same paintings and then cycled through one specific type of painting, couldn't find what I wanted, and settled on an angel painting over the bed. And that was it. So once again, if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everyone else. I will see you all again on a non-festive episode. Goodbye, the internet.